Most people don't live 80 years. They live 1 year, repeated 80 times. But you're about to meet someone who discovered a way out of that loop. And it started with a single question. What if tomorrow's version of me is watching how I live today and taking notes? Ethan wasn't a bad person. He was just asleep. Not literally, though some days it felt like it. He was asleep to his own life. He woke up, grabbed his phone, scrolled until his brain numbed, rushed to work, drowned in tasks he didn't care about, went home, binged something to escape, slept, and did it again. A life on repeat. A loop disguised as a routine. Until one evening, something strange happened. He was watching an interview with a researcher who said, "Your future self isn't imaginary. It's a real person who inherits everything you do today." Ethan paused. His chest tightened. Because for the first time, he imagined it. A version of him 5 years from now, sitting across the room, silently observing today's choices. And that version looked disappointed. Not angry. Not judgmental. Just sad that Ethan was wasting days like loose change. That night, Ethan wrote a single sentence in a notebook. "Live a day my future self will thank me for." That was the seed. The Unlived Day Framework was the bloom. The next morning, Ethan did something unusual. He didn't touch his phone. Instead, he sat at his kitchen table and asked, "If today were already over, what would I wish I had done?" The question hit different. It bypassed procrastination. It bypassed laziness. It went straight to truth. He wrote down his answers. "I wish I'd taken a walk. I wish I'd actually read that book, not pretended I would. I wish I'd finished one important task at work, just one. I wish I'd reached out to my sister. It's been too long. I wish I'd eaten something green, not processed. I wish I'd gone to bed on time." He stared at the list. It wasn't glamorous. It wasn't revolutionary. It wasn't the new life the internet promised. It was simple, honest, human. He closed the notebook and made a decision. These are the things I'll do today. No optimization. No apps. No mood boards. Just intention. The day felt different. Calmer. Clearer. Even the air felt quieter. And for the first time in years, Ethan went to bed feeling proud. Not because he was perfect, but because he lived on purpose, not autopilot. He didn't realize it yet, but he had created the skeleton of a system, one that would transform everything. Days passed. Every morning, Ethan performed the same ritual. He imagined the day was already over and asked himself what he wished he had done. Then he wrote down 3 to 7 answers. These became his unlived day intentions. Not goals, not tasks, intentions. Because tasks felt heavy. Intentions felt meaningful. He noticed something beautiful. The more intentional his days became, the less regret he carried. The Unlived Day Framework eventually solidified into 3 simple pillars. Pillar 1. The Future Self Mirror. Every morning, imagine your tomorrow self observing you today. What would make them nod with pride? What would make them sigh with disappointment? This isn't guilt. It's guidance. Pillar 2. The Unlived List. Write 3 to 7 things you would have wished you did. If today were already behind you, they must be meaningful, realistic, non-negotiable. These could be micro-actions. A 10-minute walk. 1 deep conversation. 1 page of reading. 1 hour off-screen. 1 difficult task instead of 5 vague ones. A single act of kindness. Eating something that nourishes you. Small things make a life, not big dreams. Pillar 3. The Nightly Note. At night, write 1 sentence. What did today teach me? Not what you failed at. Not what you regret. Just the lesson. Over time, these lessons become a map, a compass, A story of growth written in everyday ink. The first week felt empowering. The second felt clarifying. But the third? That's when Ethan's life cracked open. One morning, he wrote, "I wish I had the courage to start the thing I've been avoiding." That thing was his dream of building a small digital business, a space where he could teach people what he wished he'd learned earlier, how to live intentionally. He'd always told himself, "It's not the right time. Someone else will do it better. I'm not good enough yet. I'll start after things calm down." But things never calmed down. Fear was always loud. Doubt was always convincing. Perfectionism was always king. Until that morning. Because when he imagined his future self, he saw someone who whispered, "Start ugly, start small, just start." And so Ethan created his first post, then his second, then a blog, then a newsletter. Nothing viral, nothing spectacular, but intentional. And that changed everything. 2 months into the Unlived Day Framework, Ethan noticed a pattern. He was calmer. He was clearer. He was more confident. He was less reactive. He procrastinated less because intention killed avoidance. And the people around him noticed. His sister told him, "You feel present again. Like you're actually here when we talk." His coworker asked if he started meditating. His manager said he seemed more focused. But the wildest moment happened at a cafe. A stranger tapped him on the shoulder and said, "Sorry, this is weird, but you look like someone who's figured something out. What's your secret?" Ethan laughed. His secret wasn't a secret. It was a question, a list, and a sentence. That's it. One night, Ethan sat on his balcony, notebook on his lap, listening to the hum of the city. He flipped back through the pages. Dozens of morning intentions. Dozens of nightly lessons. Dozens of small wins that once seemed insignificant. But as he read them, he noticed something. He had changed, not by force, not through motivation, not through dramatic transformation, but through micro-alignment. The quiet art of doing a few important things each day on purpose. That's when it hit him. This framework doesn't create a new life overnight. It simply prevents unlived days from becoming unlived years. He didn't need a big breakthrough. He needed consistency. He needed consciousness. He needed intention. Then came the call. His sister, breath shaky, voice trembling. "Ethan, I found Mom's old recordings. The ones she made before she passed." Their mom had died 6 years earlier. Unexpected. Painfully fast. A loss that left holes in their lives. Ethan held the phone tighter. "Why didn't you tell me earlier?" "I didn't know how. But I think you're ready now." They met the next day. Sat on the floor like kids. Played the recordings. Her voice poured out of the speaker like sunlight. "If you're hearing this, you're older now. I hope you're living intentionally. I hope you're choosing your days, not just surviving them." Ethan froze. His sister covered her mouth, holding back tears. Their mother had unknowingly described the very thing he'd been practicing. The Unlived Day Framework wasn't just a tool. It was a whisper from the past, a push toward the future, a way of living his mother would have been proud of. That night, Ethan wrote the most important sentence of his life. "Today taught me that intention isn't about productivity. It's about honoring life." Within a year, Ethan published his system. Thousands of people adopted it. Moms, students, entrepreneurs, people burned out, lost, overwhelmed. They all said the same thing. "This made my life feel mine again." Not perfect, not optimized, not aesthetic, just alive. And that's the magic. Maybe you're hearing this and noticing something. You have unlived days too. Days you rushed through. Days you numbed. Days you survived instead of shaped. And maybe, without realizing it, you're stuck in the repeat cycle. 1 year lived, 80 times. But today can be different. Right now can be the turning point. All it takes is the question Ethan asked the morning his life changed. If today were already over, what would I wish I had done? Write your answers. Do them. End your day with a lesson. That's the Unlived Day Framework. A way back to yourself. A path to intentional living. A reminder that your future self is already watching, hoping you choose the life that's waiting for you. Because the power of intentional living isn't about doing more. It's about finally doing what matters.